So again, my name is Christine Davis. I work for California Trout. I actually grew up in Ferndale, just across the river, and I just remember being in the car with my mom all the time, driving over to Fortuna, whatever, and watching how different the river was. And that was one of my favorite things to scream out, "It moved! Like it's in a different place!" Because the river's always like just so dynamic. And as a kid, I thought that was the craziest thing. You know, buildings don't move, but a river has many things it does, and in many places it goes when it's allowed to. So I'm just really privileged and excited to be working as an adult on Eel River restoration and conservation projects with California Trout. And yeah, so today I'm just going to go through a little bit about what the Eel River Expo is and how we got here. But first, I'm just going to share like a few things about California Trout as an organization. So our belief is that California's future depends on healthy, clean water, and everything we do is centered around this. So that's the core. And then our mission is to ensure healthy waters and resilient wild fish for a better California. So we actually evolved from our beginnings of a group of anglers over 50 years ago. And today we are scientists, attorneys, policymakers, construction managers, and most importantly, community partners. We are about 70 staff. We're regionally based all across California where wild fish and freshwater are. We operate under 5 overarching initiatives. They are protect the best, integrate wild fish and working landscapes, steward source water areas, restore estuaries, and reconnect habitat. I'm going to go through each of these and give them a moment of their own to shine because the Eel River and the work we're doing in the Eel River with our partners and tribes all over can fit into all of these 5 core initiatives or strategies. So we're really excited to have all the projects across the whole watershed. So protect the best, keep salmon strongholds and wild trout waters intact and protected. We work to integrate wild fish and working landscapes and balance the needs of fish and people by reestablishing resilient wild fish populations within managed landscapes. Steward source water areas, ensure water security by protecting and restoring our vital source water. We work on projects that safeguard source water areas. Restore estuaries. Estuaries and lagoons provide critical feeding and nursery habitat for juvenile fish and are important transition zones between freshwater and the ocean. And lastly, reconnect habitat. Give salmon and steelhead access to diverse habitat by removing barriers and getting obsolete dams out. So with all 5 of these initiatives or goals, the Eel River really fits well as a place to do that work, and that's why we're here. It is the 3rd largest watershed in California. The first is Central Valley, and I don't know what the 2nd largest is. Does anyone here know? Klamath, thank you, Klamath. It actually holds much of the different landscapes and habitat that are in the North Coast. Here you can see the 7 major sub-watershed regions. This is just a huge area. And I like to highlight this because within this huge area, and I put the star there, that's where the River Lodge is, that's where we are today. In this huge area, there's so many different habitats. This is a layout from a page from the Eel River Vision book that Charlie Schneider helped create. And these abundant habitats are providing habitat for all different kinds of animals and plants, not just the salmon. So it's really important to think about the watershed as a whole and its needs. So what are the needs? The Eel River watershed needs coordinated restoration to do work across the whole basin. But why are we talking about restoration? Like, to me, the river looks beautiful and I see trees around it. What's the problem? So we're talking about it because it provides that substantial freshwater habitat to Pacific salmon, including the threatened and endangered Chinook, also coho, and 2 winter and summer steelhead runs. So So historically, the Eel River watershed supported combined runs of these wild fish, and this is a historic photo of a salmon catch all in one day. So that's a pretty impressive photo. But since then, estimates say that combined runs of these wild fish reached over 500,000 adult fish annually, and now the Eel River watershed is recognized as a stronghold for wild and native salmonids. Current estimates suggest that these runs have decreased more than 90% from historic averages. So if there's 10% or less of the fish there, like there's something we need to do to work together on solutions. Some other impacts in the watershed are non-sustainable resource extraction, historic flooding, which has altered food availability for fish. We also have the Potter Valley Dam complex cutting off key source waters. We have the invasive pike minnow. It's a native fish that's invasive in the Eel River watershed. It actually eats all the fish, not just salmon or the endangered fish. But if you want to see an actual pike minnow, there's a couple out on ice in the exhibit hall. You can go look and see what they look like. It's pretty amazing. We also have channel simplification, which takes out the important habitat for the fish and reduces deep pools, among other things. We have combined impacts of drought, less water, warmer ambient air temperature, that all bring a combined effect of a greater risk of fire, but not just fire, but the intensity of fire that can wipe out a lot of habitat. So just to talk really quickly about where this event came from, the Eel River Forum Group is a group of mostly local nonprofits, tribe representatives, and agencies that all meet together as the Eel River Forum and kind of talk science, about their technical work, talk about their research, get together. Often in this room right here is usually standing room only. But in 2016, that group got together, facilitated by California Trout, and wrote the Eel River Action Plan. And this Eel River Action Plan was brought by all of these groups: the Coastal Conservancy, NOAA, U.S. Fish and Wildlife, U.S. Forest Service, the Humboldt County RCD, California State Parks, Eel River Watershed Improvement Group, Potter Valley Irrigation District, CDFW and SHARP, the Mendocino RCD, Friends of the Eel River, the Eel River Recovery Project, the Wiyot Tribe, EPIC, the North Coast Regional Water Quality Control Board, Sonoma County Water Agency, SRF, California Trout, Friends of the Van Dusen River, and PG&E. And the reason I put these all up there and called them out is just to remember this core group of people that really brought this work forward. It's really exciting to see all of them out in the exhibit hall today, and to see how this group of dedicated researchers, agencies, and tribe representatives has grown. So we have other tribes that have been really important and integral to this work. We have Grand Valley Indian tribes, Wailaki tribe, and the Yurok tribe, who are coming in to help build capacity in the Eel River watershed with their work. And I'm not going to read through all of these, but I just want to share how much this group has grown in the last 10 years. Like, this is over triple. And where we're going next is like reinitiating this effort to work together and come to a common goal and vision of our approach for restoration and conservation in the watershed. So that's really what I wanted to share with you today, like where we came from as a group and where we're going. So the Eel River Expo, that's the Eel River Action Plan. In 2021, CDFW funded the framework, or like the scientific studies, to lay out what needed to happen in the two-basin solution. In 2022, they funded phase 1 of the Eel River Restoration and Conservation Plan, and that turned into phase 2, which we're in now, which is creating a program and starting to identify areas that we can prioritize for restoration and conservation. This is that final program. So we're here, we finished phase 1 in 2024, and we have a printed out overview of that plan. That's what that booklet is on the table, so grab one when you go out. And then phase 2 is where we are now. We're in this prioritization phase, looking at the key areas that will kind of make the most bang for the buck, or like be the best options to focus restoration dollars in. We're also forming the Eel River program, which helps to coordinate or facilitate all those groups you saw before. CalTrout is a leader in the facilitation of that. It doesn't mean that our work is any more important than any of those entities. We help bring it all together and lift up all voices. And with that, I'll just share that the vision for phase 1, or the plan, was created by all the Eel River Forum members. We came together in this room and we put papers up on this wall and we wrote, what is our vision? What's the most important way to approach restoration in the eel? And so when you look at the vision within that booklet, you'll see that didn't come from just my mouth or just our director Darren's mouth. It came from everybody working together to come to a common approach. And that's what's so important. So without going into deep detail on the science, because I think we're running out of time, just in this phase 2 of what we're doing now, what we're doing is prioritizing those restoration actions. We're doing it at a watershed scale approach. So you saw the whole watershed. We're actually not just focusing around the area of the dam decommissioning or the upper Eel River watershed. We have to look at the whole area because coho, for example, and other salmonids, they need the whole Eel River watershed. They don't just hang out up by the dam and cry because they can't go home. They actually go up and down all the way out to the ocean and come back. So it's a huge life cycle. It's really important. And so lastly, I'll just share the whole watershed is important. We have cool perennial tributaries, the inland main stem, seasonally dry tributaries. We have coastal main stems and the estuary. It's all important, and we're working on pieces of all of it. You can read more about our restoration approach if you want to, or go online and look at that. But just briefly, the approach is looking at broad actions that could be applied to many different places in the eel, or specific actions like that you can really articulate what they are, like removing obsolete dams. So there's a few things you could do if you're interested. Is you could join the Eel River Forum and come to more events like this. We have a sign-up sheet there. You can also stay informed. Go to our program website and just see what we're up to. We have some maps up there and all the details if you want to dive further in. And lastly, I would say go to the river. It's here for you, and it's an amazing opportunity. This photo was taken by one of our project team members, Jay. And if you don't have access to a boat or a river guide, it's always free to walk on the river walk here and just be next to the water. So, thank you.